I'm not the biologist, sorry.
Drones are haploid. You get half.
Thank you. Did you get that?
Drones are unfertile on eggs.
Yeah.
That's right. I only get half of the queens.
No, they get them all. Yeah. I'll let you explain it to them later, okay? Because yeah.
You have this bird, okay, and you have this bee. There you go.
Let's do 7 bees out of it. That's a discussion for later, isn't it?
And Adam's wife got 17 kids.
So now we have this African beehive, and we need to evaluate whether we're going to eliminate it or whether we are going to requeen it. Again, I know it's a horrible decision to make. You hate to have to say, I gotta kill my hive, right? Sometimes it's necessary. It's the threat. Is it a threat to you, your family, your neighbors? We have children that run through. We had a hive at one time we found that they lived real close to a daycare. That was a threat. That was something that they had a liability to. So the decision was that we had to get rid of the hive. Make a logical decision. And if I have to make that decision for you, I will, but I usually try to get the beekeeper to do that. And then determine your method. I'm going to just talk about 2 methods. I'm sure there's other ways to do it as well. I call it the black bag or the soapy water. You're going to prepare. You're going to wear that extra protective gear. You're going to tape up. You're going to make sure that you've got everything that you need. I didn't. Here's where I was going to talk about the fume board. Yeah, if you've got honey on, go ahead and remove your honey supers. If you can, how many of you have ever used a fume board? Okay. For those of you who don't know what a fume board is, it's actually like a lid, almost. And it's got a felt bottom to it, and you spray Bee Go or Bee Gone or Honey Bandit, one of the things that's a deterrent for bees, and you spray that on the felt, and you put it on top of your hive. Within minutes, your bees go down. They don't like the smell of it. What a great way to use it, not just to get honey, but now to be able to push those bees down, and you can go ahead and take your honey from that hive and not have to worry about that. At night, close the entrance and any possible openings. I say that because I have some rotten wood on my hives. You might also, there's sometimes little holes in your equipment. Plug those holes, make sure that there's no opening for the bees to get out. If you're using a screen bottom board, put an insert in or try to get that closed up as best as possible. For either way that we're going to use, you're going to want to do that. So for the black bag method, get those heavy-duty garden black bags, big, huge ones. They make them really, really big. And once your hive is closed off, you're going to place that bag over the entire hive and then use duct tape or strong tape, and you're going to make sure there's no airflow. The bottom part's the hardest part. Sometimes you have to finagle it. I mean, if you can have somebody help you and you're just kind of one single deep, you can kind of lift it and get the whole bag over the whole thing. That's the best way to do it. I've had to do a few hives that were really tall, and that was a little more challenging. We actually had to take them apart and put them in 2 different bags. A little bit harder because the bees are coming out, of course, at that point. I think it makes sense to try to do it at night because your bees are all in there. You're not going to have all that flow of bees everywhere trying to do it. So if you can get that where it's completely sealed off, leave it 24 to 48 hours. Don't know exactly how long it takes. I just know that sometimes bees are still alive in my buckets when I put removals sometimes, and they didn't have any airflow. So leave them until you know that your bees are dead. If it's a hot sunny day, it's going to happen quickly. If it's a little cooler out, it may take a little bit longer for the bees. Unfortunately, it's not a good scene and nobody likes it. Remove the bag, clean out all the dead bees from your frames and from the bottom board. And these frames actually can be frozen and used in another hive. Or if you've got a nice strong hive, go ahead and just take that deep body and put it on the other hive and let the other bees go ahead and utilize the frames on that as well, if it's strong enough. So soapy water method. You can do this also. The bagging sometimes is you're going to end up with more bees coming out and a little bit more challenging, I think, sometimes. The soapy water method, I've not actually done this, but it makes sense. After taking your supers off, add a screen board on top, just a solid screen board on the top of your hive. And what that does for you, now you've been able to do that during the daytime you took your supers off or whenever, you put the screen board on top, you now can wait and do this at night. And you're not going to have the bees flying out, which is pretty cool. Mix up a couple liquid dish detergent to a gallon of water. Depending on how big your hive is, you may need several buckets to do this with. Of course, amount, it depends. You know, if you got one single hive, you may be able to do it good with a 5-gallon bucket of water. So at night, after you've sealed off their entrances, the bees can't get out, lift only that top lid. Now you've got your screen board. You can pour that soapy water down through the frames, through the screening, and not have to have all those bees in your face. The soapy water is going to kill your bees. You can actually, once it's finished and once your bees are done, if you've done this at night, you can wait till the next morning to go ahead and clean up the carnage, unfortunately. But you can then just take your garden hose and clean out all the soapy water off of your frames. Do it really thoroughly, but from what I understand, you can put those back in your hive and reuse them. If you're not using them right away, remember to freeze them so you don't get with wax moths and hive beetles. Yes, sir?
You're saying reuse the frame. Are both of these methods killing the larvae too? Okay, so you don't have
It usually does kill the larvae too. The soapy water is definitely going to do that. Now, what's underneath in the cappings, I'm not 100% sure on the soapy water method. Anybody do it? Have you done it? Have you? Does it kill everything?
We have had some larvae hatch.
Yeah.
So usually we spray.
Yeah.
Permeable, you think it'd be water permeable too.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't need to kill them because, you know, then you clean and they calm down.
If you have a new queen.
They're going to clean it out if it's no good. I mean, if your larva's dead in there, the bees are going to clean that out anyways. They will do that, yeah.
So something we learned from the Phoenix Fire Department. Because if
Good
they come out
choice.
to an Africanized bee call,
Ooh, where's my fireman in the room? Don't you want to add that to your job list?
in Phoenix, if the fire department responds to bees, if they seem aggressive, they have foam that they hit them with off the truck.
Foam is great, actually.
And,
And you kill everything with that.
and so what we learned from that, what
Yeah.
we have done in a couple of occasions, is just use one of those, you get them in the garden department at Home Depot, the foaming sprayer, fill that, we always use Blue Dawn for some reason, we always use the same soap, because we know that one works, and put the garden hose to it, and we foamed them with that.
That's perfect.
I will say, always still have your 5-gallon bucket. Also, we've hit hives hot enough that it got loud and we couldn't communicate. So we started agreeing on
That's
just
good.
a couple of hand signals beforehand. Gotta stay calm, gotta have, an exit plan. And most recently, we decided to buy a mosquito net. And because in Arizona, if you're doing this in the summer, half the hive is outside on the box. So
Good point.
walk up and throw the mosquito net over it and then go.
That's a really good point. You might have bees on the outside.
Why we never learned to use a red light, I don't know. It's dry, we're dumb. I don't know.
Red lights, they do work if you don't know about that. The bees do not see the red light and come after you like they do when you use a white light. So what do you do if you're attacked? Run like hell. That's the truth. Run away from the area. You can pull your shirt over your head because where do the bees like to sting? Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. They go for the, yeah. So pull your shirt over. I'd rather get stung in my back than I would over my face. You can run through bushes. I've done that before. It does seem to help a little bit. Tall grasses, things like that, but don't swat. That's the normal thing with bees. Don't swat at them. They're just going to get more upset. And get into a vehicle or a structure or anything that you can get away from them. I teach little kids sometimes, and I'll say, just a regular bee. Go inside, get inside. If you've got a couple bees here going around you and you get one inside, that's okay, right? You got all the others outside. With an African job, you got the whole, you walk inside and you can laugh at them because they're all at the front window just running to get inside, to get you. So get inside some structure. Don't jump into the water. We've already talked about that. And don't hide in the bushes because they're going to stay there, right? They're going to wait for you. And they're going to find their way into the bush anyways. But the bushes, as you run through, it actually just seems to get them off of you a little bit more. With the African bees, they're stuck. I mean, sometimes you can just see them digging at your veil and digging at your, they're on you. They're not leaving. Bees can remain defensive again, like I said, for many hours or sometimes a couple days even. They're still a little more agitated. If stung, remove that sticker quickly. Scrape it out. Don't pull it out. And here's some additional resources that you can learn a lot more. Ask IFAS. They give you lots of information. And it's really nice and helpful. I do have some African bee brochures. They're a little outdated, but they're not too bad. And then there's one on the table as well on identifying different types of insects that aren't necessarily bees, and a little bit of information on African bees as well on the backside. And then there is actually a site from the University of Florida that talks about requeening a hive, so you get some ideas from them too. Good resources. Always use our resources. University of Florida is super good about adding things all the time. Amy Vu and her group up there in Gainesville are really doing some great works of trying to educate people, so utilize them. Any other questions? I hope none of you have an African hive, but if you do, don't hesitate to call, okay? They are for real. We do have them. We don't have a lot. I will tell you from all my experiences, they're the minority. Hopefully let's keep them that way. Flood your areas with good European drones, flood your areas with good European honeybees. That's a big deterrent, the more European bees we have. And I think that's one thing that we've done a really great job of, is having new beekeepers and having backyard beekeepers. It's helped reduce that problem. Yes?
One suggestion I make is, if you're going into a hot hive like that, shoes, your normal tennis shoes.
I didn't think about that, but you're right.
I had some frog tape.
Shoes.
I might as well have my feet in holes. I wore the same shoes 100 times with the bees, but that day I needed boots.
Yeah, boots.
If you're going in,
It's a good idea.
wrap those babies up with something besides just the little breeze.
Basically, Becky, sorry, finish.
Yeah.
Becky, my experience is European bees go for the face and don't usually bother much with the arms and the legs. African bees go everywhere.
I was gonna say they go to the face too. They do. They go everywhere.
They go everywhere.
They go everywhere.
And, you better be fully suited.
I have seen Derek have to put a full suit on. Okay, for those of you that know Derek, yeah, he has learned that they are for real here. Yeah,
Seen it a couple times.
I have seen it a couple times. Yes, sir.
Taught by our mentor, a guy named Jeffrey Johnson.
Oh, we love Jeffrey.
He told me that because these bees come from an arid climate, that what they would do is, if an animal comes by, they send one out and they pop
Yeah.
it and put some pheromone on it.
Yep.
Then they all attack and kill it, and then as the thing rots, it's got a source of liquid.
Exactly.
Which, have you heard that? I mean, I haven't seen that.
Well, and that makes perfectly good sense. Exactly what they were talking about is that they had to learn to defend themselves more aggressively because of the predators, and that makes perfectly good sense. How many of you have ever been bopped by a bee? Talk about that. You get bopped. Pay attention to it. Walk away from that situation and realize why you're getting bopped. They're giving you a warning signal. Warning shot. It's like, whoa. Yeah. Anybody else? Tony.
Becky, being that they're from an arid climate, will that help keep them from going too far?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hopefully they won't go too much further because of that. Yeah.
Good, I'm going north.
You are going north. But I saw a few of those little spots in your territory up there that do have them.
I tell you, it's still black. no.
We learned, huh? Oh. All right, I'm turning it over. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Don't think you don't need smoke. Use your smoker, use it wisely. I mean, you can use it lightly, but if they are a little rough, it's really tough to calm bees down. You just need to get out and leave them alone. And I'll need you for doing that. Yeah, I'll make you say. And also, learn to pick the days and the time to work with your bees. Sunny days, calm winds, not a lot of clouds. You can be your bee problem as the problem, not necessarily the bees. Try and pick a good day that is great for working bees, not go in because you have to. I had last Friday off and I did not pull honey because I knew it was going to be an ugly day, all cloudy and trying to rain. Yes, Jim?
Look at the weather, no front, nothing.
Yeah. You start working your bees and a rain cloud comes up and starts getting thick and all them field bees start coming back, you can have a hot mess on your hands and on a really nice hive and a decent afternoon get bad, ugly quick. So don't throw your baby out with the bathwater just because you had trouble with your bees the first time, like she said, give them a chance, but don't make it a problem. So, and I think the Christmas party, I need a couple people to try and scratch up some Christmas decoration stuff we can put on the tables. If somebody will kind of jump in and help me with that. All right, so I appreciate that. So just come a little early, so we'll have, so what do we usually have, about 8, 10 tables? 10, 11 tables. So that will take care of that. I think January is the 27th of January will be the 4th Thursday, which we will be back in here. The school will be open. Hopefully we won't have any more COVID stuff. We're into a new year and everything's gone with that. But we'll do what we can do. We're going to start the raffle right now. So the first thing will be a decapping tool. The 4 numbers are 1999, 1999. Oh, come on. Oh, that's fine. This is the luckiest lady in the world. The next number for the next thing is 2264. 2264 for decapping tool. 2264.
I got that.
All right. So the next thing is going to be a really shiny, nice
Very, very sharp.
Canals Beekeeper Association hive tool. This is pretty. And the number is 2270. 2270. Becky, get that in your pocket.
I've got it.
22. Really? All right, so I have another Canals Beekeeper's hive tool. Red handle.
Who won it?
2156. 2156. Right here. All righty. A bee brush.
Used bee brush.
A used bee brush. 1977. Oh, a new bee brush. 1977. I think that one was a year. 1977. Is that you? This is the luckiest lady alive. I love her. Okay, so 2075, 2075. 2075. 2076.
You might as well take it.
I need to go get a lottery ticket. You're gonna take it. Darn it. 2105 for a, what are you grabbing? Jar of, cream honey. 2105 for cream honey. I will tell you that if you buy all the fancy stuff and learn how to make cream honey, and you make it in Florida, and you take it out to sell it, and you sit it in the sun, and you get home, you no longer have cream honey. You have honey. It will go right back to liquid if you get the right temperature. So we got two entrance feeders. 2190. 2190.
It can also be top video.
2190. The next thing will be two top feeders. In those boxes there.
These are cool, I've never seen them.
I've never seen them before. You just went ahead and tell me what it was. I guess I am a dumb beekeeper. 2129. Top feeders. Let me know how they work. And I don't know where they came from.
Maria donated.
Okay. So the next thing is a sippy cup with a bee stuff all over it. 1974. Give it to your mom. What's next? Frame grabber? A frame grabber. 2252. 2252. The next thing will be another decapping tool. A green hand decapping tool. 2030, 2030. 2030. The next thing is, I believe, is a stainless or a metal queen clip, or clean. Can't get these teeth to work. Clip for putting a queen in. 1988. It's not a breaking plastic one, it's a nice metal one. Did someone get the?
Now we're gonna read.
I have bow hacks, I don't use it.
2254 for a decapping tool. It's good for acupuncture in the back of your finger. I did it once the other day. I don't know why, I kept sticking myself. A red hot tool. This one does not have our logo on it. It is 2163. 2163 for a high tool. You never have enough high tools. The next thing is a bottle of honey. It is 2091. 2091.
Drew B.
Thank you.
Interesting little book we have here. Can we get it signed if someone got it?
Yes.
All right, if we can find your author, we'll get her to sign this book for you. 2074. Do you have that number?
If you win it again, you win
This
that
is
one.
2074. 2074. I'm not going to give you that one.
Yeah.
The next thing is double honey dipper bottle, jar. 2046. 2046.
Very nice.
The next, I believe, is a little care package with candies or what is it?
There's all kinds of great stuff in here. Candles, some hand sanitizer.
2021.
White. From Hawaii.
2021.
This is right up your alley, Bob.
Dun, dun, dun. We're down to a brand new semi-usable smoker. We got a watch and see. All right. 2167. It's like a $50 smoker. That's all for tonight, correct? Do I have anything else I need to bring up or mention? So can I get my new vice president to stand up? Jody's stepping down. Stand up, Jody. You are taking Jody's shoes, which is a huge secretary, if somebody would like to volunteer. We are out of here, and it's not 9 o'clock yet. What am I forgetting? Carl has been part of the scenes or behind the scenes on just about everything House Keepers has ever had a finger on or been a part of. And the worst problem with that whole statement is he is now leaving us, like he doesn't love us at all, because he's moving to Tennessee. Well, every week he tells me a different state, but they're all right there together. So he's moving to Tennessee. He is going to be a huge loss for us. Thank you. I love this man like a brother. He has hugely been a part of this organization since the start. Carl, I love you, and I am going to truly miss you along with all of us. Thank you for all you've done. Like I said, January 27th, it's time to become a member again, first of the year, so jump right in here and fill out your membership, get signed back up. Let's get things moving. It's a new year already. I'm going to call this meeting adjourned. Thank you. Have a good holiday if you don't come to the party. See you next year.
So what do you want to do, like 6:15 or 6?
Yeah.
That's one of the nice. That's one nice thing.
Go over there.
Okay.
Walks over there at my house. That's
That's
nice.
nice.
Yeah, you just gotta plug the hole up. I got this stuff, we'll plug it up and,
Be done.
you know, you can even do it, you know.
Yeah, because these did not have chairs here. All of these are not here. These ones aren't there. These